Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Untapped Healing, where we help you tap into your healing potential. In today's episode, we're going to be diving deep on why I decided to start intermittent fasting on a regular basis, all of what it has brought for me, and 8 reasons why you might want to start intermittent fasting yourself. So why did I decide to start intermittent fasting? So I decided to start intermittent fasting once I started really diving deep into the results that people were getting through intermittent fasting. So both through like gaining muscles and mental clarity, and has really helped me with my discipline. Me deciding that I'm going to abstain from eating for certain durations of my day really gives me clarity and really helps me understand that, when you put parameters on yourself, when you put blocks of time where you do things and blocks of time where you say you're not doing things and you stick to it, it teaches yourself a level of discipline that no one can teach you. A lot of us hear the word discipline and we're afraid of it, but a wise man once told me discipline is the key to freedom. Because once you decide that you are going to cut off all opportunities of anything else that you do not want to happen, your world opens up for you. So by you deciding not to eat for durations of your day, it really helps you produce at a higher level, which we'll be going over in this video. I always like hearing things that have to do with longevity just to see the viability of how I can bring it into my life. And when I heard that, so the ancients practiced intermittent fasting, but it didn't have the label intermittent fasting. It was just feast and starvation cycles, because way back in the day, we didn't have food on demand. You didn't just have your cell phone. You could just order pizza at any given moment in time, or you could just order food anytime you want to. Back in the day, you would actually have to toil the land, wait for it, and then harvest. Or if there was no harvest through reaping the fruits from the ground, you would go and you would hunt. And all of these things take time. So the humans, us, we used to go through starvation and feasting periods, and that's 100% okay, but not in today's world where everything is so go check out the instant gratification video. It just be instant gratification this, instant gratification that. Us going through instant gratification that our society delivers for us so instantaneously now really cut us off from our indigenous roots. We didn't used to have food whenever we wanted. We used to only eat when food was available, and that is how we evolved. So if we steer clear from how we evolved and we just pave our own weird route where we're eating all the time, we're gonna pave our own weird diseases. Since implementing intermittent fasting, I really noticed a lot of mental clarity when I have to do work. I'm not focused on, what am I about to eat? Your mind is clear because you're used to not eating at certain times. A lot of us will begin intermittent fasting and we'll have a desire to consume food. But our desire from consuming food comes from the day prior to, and the day prior to, and the day before that, and the day before that, because our bodies function off of repetition. So if we consistently give our bodies meals at certain times, we then get used to receiving that meal at a certain time. And when we get used to receiving a meal at a certain time, even if you're not hungry, your body will be expecting food at that given moment of time. Because truth to be told, you could go a week without food. You can go weeks without food and water. But you have to understand that if you go that amount of time without food and water, if you could since we can physically go that amount of time without food or water, that means that you don't need food and water every day. You don't need that every day. But then just simple fact that our society conditions us to believe that, we now have to battle that false belief while recreating our own world. But by instilling just a little bit of discipline, not only will you gain all these benefits that we're about to go over right now, but you will now become the master of your reality. Because if you could cut food off, you can cut a lot of other things off as well. It's very powerful. But let's get into the 8 reasons why you might want to start intermittent fasting on a regular basis as well. Let's start with number 8. The 8th reason why you might want to start intermittent fasting. If you're really trying to lose weight, intermittent fasting is the way to go. Because weight loss only occurs when you aren't putting more glucose into your body. You gotta understand that when you introduce foods into your body that spike your insulin levels and raise your glucose levels in your body, your body is now using that new glucose that you put into your body as energy. So if you just ate some rice, or you just ate a sandwich or anything, your body now uses that as energy. But then when you abstain from eating, your body tunes into your fat stores and it starts burning away at that. So if you're trying to lose weight, intermittent fasting is the way to go, because it burns the fat that is inside of your body while you're just doing work. Like the simple fact that you did not break fast, like when you're fasting, to break fast, everyone typically breaks fast in the morning. That's why it's called breakfast. But if you choose to break fast later, then you will allow the fat burning to occur, because your body will be using your stored fat for energy instead of what you're just introducing into your body currently. So by simply abstaining from eating, your body will be burning your fat stores that are already in your body, and effectively you'll be losing weight. And that brings us into number 7, the 7th reason why you might want to start intermittent fasting on a regular basis. Intermittent fasting really helps if you have type 2 diabetes. If you're trying to reverse your type 2 diabetes, there's a lot of doctors that have actually helped patients be completely cured of their type 2 diabetes, and they speak highly, very highly of fasting. Fasting is very important if you're a diabetic, because in order for your body to re-regulate its insulin levels and your blood sugar levels, by keeping food outside of your system, it allows your body to really re-regulate itself. Really re-regulate itself. If you have food flowing through your body all day long, it makes it hard for your body to regulate itself. And if that's what your repeated pattern has been, the reason why you have a disease like diabetes, it's because that's been your pattern. Constantly introducing food into your body, By doing this on a regular basis, you aren't allowing your insulin levels to be stable, your blood sugar levels to be stable. But by simply abstaining from eating, intermittent fasting, at least 16 hours without consuming food, you are effectively allowing your body to re-regulate itself, re-regulating its insulin levels, re-regulating your blood sugar levels, which allows you to get rid of diseases like type 2 diabetes. And that brings us into number 6, the 6th reason why you need to be intermittent fasting on a regular basis. You want to gain some muscles? Start intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting really helps with growing your muscles. How is this possible? How is not eating helping you grow muscles? So what happens is, when you are asleep at night is when your body regenerates. Your body's regenerating at night. How is your body regenerating at night? There's a hormone that gets secreted through your vessel, and it's called human growth hormone. Human growth hormone is literally what regenerates your muscles. It regenerates everything that has to do with you being a bigger, stronger version of yourself. And human growth hormone is coursing through your bloodstream when you are asleep at night. Now, in order for you to consistently be getting the effects of growing and regenerating like as you were when you were sleeping at night, is by abstaining from eating completely. When you abstain from eating completely, you're not spiking your insulin levels. But by spiking your insulin levels, when you do decide I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna eat breakfast, when you do decide to just quickly do that, you are immediately spiking your insulin levels and you are stopping human growth hormone from coursing through your body. You need human growth hormone coursing through your body so that your cells regenerate after post-workout, so you get bigger and stronger, and so that your muscles have means to get bigger and stronger. Human growth hormone is exactly what it is, human growth hormone. So by simply abstaining from eating, so by simply just intermittent fasting, will allow human growth hormone to be coursing throughout your body for however long you decide to, and then through that, massive muscles start to occur. You start growing at a massive rate, and that's only because you allow that to occur through abstaining from eating. And that brings us into number 5, the 5th reason why you need to be intermittent fasting on a regular basis. Intermittent fasting really helps with longevity. As I said, by not consuming food for long durations of times and then deciding to eat for short durations of time, like shorter durations of time, just by really getting critical on when you'll be eating, intermittent fasting, just when you'll be eating, so 16 hours without eating and an 8-hour window of eating, this really allows you to extend your life, really allows longevity, because all of us, all of us, we all rot from the inside out. You gotta understand that we all age from the inside out. If we are constantly working our organs, we will experience that on the external level, because all of our organs are meant for certain functions. And the more we're wearing them down, the lesser and lesser they'll perform at their optimal level. So by simply allowing your organs to rest, by not consuming food, you allow all of your body to regenerate at an exponential level. And by doing this consistently as a daily practice, like you just see at the end of the day how much longer you live than your peers. Those that are centurions, it's a reward from not overindulging. Like, we really got to listen to them. I listen to a lot of centurions, and they always speak of not overindulging, like just keeping things simple and basic, and understanding that it's okay. You don't got to eat all the time. Like, just let your vessel be. But the second you constantly introduce foods into your system, you are now not caring about the long term. You are obsessing over the short term, and that doesn't allow healing to occur prolonged. And you need healing to occur prolonged for you to be around to 100, 200, 300 years old. And that brings us into number 4. The fourth reason why you need to be intermittent fasting on a regular basis. It gives you energy. All the energy you need. All the energy you need is like when you aren't functioning off of your glucose stores because you just ate food and now your body needs to quickly burn that off. You are functioning off of your fat. And a lot of people know that when you are using the energy from your fat stores, is ketosis. Your ketone is a very efficient fuel source for your body to function off of. And when you're functioning off of ketones, you are functioning off of your body's divine energy, like your most primitive energy. And that energy is vibrant, and you don't feel as though you're borrowing it. Like when you're functioning, like I work out fasted on a daily basis. So I make sure that I don't eat anything before I work out. I'll eat after I work out, but I never eat anything before I work out. Because when you're working out fasted, not only do you have more energy, but you feel good. Like you feel great. And by simply working out fasted, you are enhancing your muscle growth, all of your muscle growth gains, and you have a lot of energy. You'll be surprised how much energy you have going into a workout fasted than after being bogged down from eating a huge meal and trying to approach working out. If you want to have the energy, if you want to have the capacity to attack your day on a regular basis, then you should practice intermittent fasting. It will help you stay consistent with everything that you're trying to accomplish for yourself. And that brings us into number 3, the third reason why you need to be intermittent fasting on a regular basis. Intermittent fasting really helps boost your metabolic rate, which allows you to not only have exuberant amounts of energy, but keep the weight off. So if you want to, like from numbers 8 and the last one, if you want to have energy in abundance and you want to keep the weight off, intermittent fasting is the way to go. Because not only will you keep the weight off, but your metabolic rate is going to be increased. And when your metabolic rate is increased, then you are digesting food quickly, you are functioning at a higher capacity, you are your child self again. If you want your child self again, start intermittent fasting on a regular basis, and you will see results that you have never seen before with any other diet plan that you have tried, with any other holistic anything. All of the realest of the real went through fasting. Even Jesus did a 40-day fast. I'm telling you, these fasts are powerful. And fasting on a regular basis, you don't even gotta go a whole day. Jesus did a whole 40 days of whole days fasting. You don't even gotta do that. Intermittent fast. Just segment times for you to consume food and segment times for you to stay away from food. And simply by doing that, just simply doing that will increase your metabolic rate today. And that brings us into number 2, the second reason why you want to be intermittent fasting on a regular basis. Intermittent fasting really helps remove inflammation from your body, remove the built-up inflammation in your body. Since your body gets that amount of time, you're giving your body so much time to recover. The amount of time that you're giving your body to recover allows it to get rid of all the inflammation that has been built up inside the system. So by simply abstaining from consuming food, your body now has full focusing time to removing inflammation that has already been stored inside your body. Scar tissues, anything that has to do with your body not being who it is right now. It's just that when we consume food, our body now, like 80 to 70% of our mind has to go into focusing on the digestion of the food. It takes a lot from our brains for us to really digest food. So we have to really understand that since it takes that much for our brains to digest food, just imagine if we're using all of that brain power towards just allowing the body to be. The body will immediately be going into fixing mode. It's like you're either in consumption mode or fixing mode. So by just simply fasting, by deciding not to consume food for prolonged durations of time, you are going into super regeneration mode, and any built up inflammation inside the body can start to be broken down and removed. So number 2, dive deep on intermittent fasting if you would like to see the results of inflammation being removed from your body forever. The number 1 reason why you need to be intermittent fasting on a regular basis. Intermittent fasting really helps protect the neurons in your brain. Really helps protect the neurons in the brain. So if you have diseases like Alzheimer's or dementia that runs through your family, by just simply abstaining from eating from 16 to however long you want to do, you can do 16 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours, however, but at the bare minimum 16 hours without eating, you are allowing your neurons in your head to reconnect. You are allowing them to congregate and grow, and you want them to function at a high capacity. The only way that you allow them to function at a high capacity is by abstaining from eating, because as I said before, 70 to 80% of our brain power goes into digesting food. By you just abstaining from consumption, you allow that brain power to go towards healing your body, healing your neural connections in your mind. And by simply doing that, you are protecting yourself from diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia, a lot of things that people suffer through, and it's because we're just constantly bombarding ourselves with different forms of consumption, which doesn't allow the body to regenerate to the extent in which you don't receive the diseases that grandma, mommy, daddy, whoever got them got, because you don't need to get what they got, but you need to practice what they don't. And if they don't practice intermittent fasting and they went through those problems, don't follow their footsteps. Pave your own way. Oh my God. Let's go right. And those are all the 8 reasons why you might want to start intermittent fasting, and the little reasons why I started intermittent fasting. I hope that I really motivated you guys to start a practice that I promise will change your life forever. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Love y'all. Stay well.